Hello everyone, this is Greg from Greg's Whiskey Guide over to Paris in France. Today is the third episode of the Bowmore, my Bowmore collection overview and tasting them as well. One quick word. Yes, I know this is a very long video once again, that is for sure. I don't have the time to do separate videos, I apologize about that. But please, you have timestamps. I'm taking all the time to watch the replay and for you cut the video in timestamps at least, so you can watch it separate in several times. Watch the whiskey you want to hear about, and yeah, as you wish. So it's not because I don't do editing. I'm very bad at that. Even to cut shorts and stuff, this is complicated. And also I want to draw comparisons between those. So yeah, I know some complain about that. I understand why. Again, I apologize, but I'm gonna try to do my best to make it as short as possible. I'm resuming shorter videos, so don't worry about that. Starting by the Irish month, so I already published one yesterday. I'm gonna do one in a few days, and after this video will be in a week or so uploaded on YouTube. You will see other shorter videos, but I'm sorry, I'm not giving up this long format, because it's also my style of reviewing live, at least I mean on video. But yeah, I will still do this, but I will probably alternate with shorter videos, I think. That said, what are we talking about today? For those who missed the presentation of the distillery, please watch episode 1. I will put the links below, and a first link also at the end of the video. We're in it's always the reverse thing is always painful. So we're in West Scotland, and we're over here. I'm gonna try to be as precise as possible. Where's my finger? It's Bowmore, so it's inside Big Bay. And Bowmore Distillery, founded in 1779, the oldest distillery in Islay, officially at least, and one of the 3 oldest recorded as oldest in Scotland. And this is a night view, which is rather cool, I think. Still taken from this in French, but it exists in English, of course. It's the Whiskies of the World, a collective which has been monitored and revised, etc., by Charles MacLean. So it's quite a great book. There's also a video about books. Enough presentation of general. I'm gonna present you something first that is not 100% sure it is Bowmore, so I'm guessing here. Guessing after tasting and after rumor has it that this undisclosed indie bottling could be Bowmore, so I will assume it is, even if I might be wrong. I will present you a bit longer later on. Then I will move to in disclosed independent Bowmores. I'm gonna try this Signatory Vintage Whiskey Live Paris 10th edition. A store pick from LaMDW Whisky through its press organ, which is called Whiskey Magazine, which was called Whiskey Magazine, and you have some here, and which became Whiskey Magazine and Fine Spirits in 2010, by the way. Then again, I'm sorry, there are following two exclusive for France, but there are things you can find maybe in secondary market. Again, apologies. I'm gonna speak a bit to you about collectors' bottlings and previous bottlings. All this idea is to showcase you what the indie Bowmores can be. That doesn't mean you have to rely only on those tasting, but it gives you an idea of what they can be, and which differs often quite a lot from the official ones that are just behind me, that I displayed behind me, among other things. So first, Barry Bros and Rod on the retro collection, paying tribute to the old labels, is the retro collection for France. It's a 14 years old, cask strength, unfiltered natural color. Then we will move to 23 years old, 1987, same cask strength, natural color for LaMDW Whisky France. And then we'll finish with the samples, which is in my collector's samples collection, and that have never tried before. So we'll try for you a 21 years old Murray McDavid Gold Series. They're all cask strength, by the way, except the first one. So yeah, hope it will be interesting for you. Not to lose any time, I'm gonna present you the first bottle now, which is the Ileach, which though it says the Highlands and Islands Scotch Whisky Company Limited, I believe, from Glasgow, I believe this is the same company that does, so Vintage Malts Company Limited, that does the Finlagen, both undisclosed, both colored and chill filtered, I'm sorry. But both usually very good values, and both existing at 40% and 58% ABV in different versions now. This is the old label, but yes, I'm not sure it displays Bowmore there. Might be Lagavulin, I don't know now, I have a doubt. Never watched it so close, but I will assume it's probably Bowmore, but I might be wrong. So this is a 40%. This is a 2012 bottle, I'm sorry, which I had around 40 euros, a bit less. This could be cheaper, honestly, regarding it's a 40% NAS, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, not more. But quite a nice one. And we're gonna... I topped my whiskeys today with Whiskey Novice and with New Drum Drinker coins. I don't sell coins, I don't have coins. It's just friendly use of them. So now, if I show you the color, it's not natural, so why bother? But we have the legs. The legs are quite sticking sometime. You probably won't be able to see. Oh, you can see them a bit. I had to cover a bit the window, half of it, because it's quite sunny today, so it's very nice time. On the nose. And let me put that here. Oh yeah, I forgot to say before, Bowmore Distillery is peated. I spoke about peat in the first episode, if I'm not mistaken. The different levels of peat. You know, there's lightly peated, medium peated, heavily peated, and very, let's say, very heavily peated. Usually, lightly peated is below 15 or 20 ppm, parts per millions of phenols in the distillate. Moderately peated is around 20, so we are here. And then you have, of course, again, okay, very quickly, for their unpeated expressions, giving that they do also peated expressions, so very lightly peated Brooklady and Bunnahabhain. Then moderately peated Bowmore with 25 to 30 ppm, and then Kulila with 35, Frog with 45, and Lagavulin a bit less, 30 to 35, and then Ardbeg 50 to 55. To go quick, I spoke about it already. Now, the measure in ppm is often done when the malt is peated. so just after the kilning or the malting process, when it's done at the distillery or when it's received, made elsewhere. So the level is higher than before the distillation and before the maturation. That's what I wanted to say. So of the sources I have, it should be around 8 to 10 ppm at the arrival, measured at the arrival, at the final stage, if you like. Why some expressions, and I have some doubts, could be up to 38 ppm, and it's my guess for the next one. So for this one, we have the very nice bouquet of fresh cut flowers and botanicals, with some seaweed, sea spray. Why I say Bowmore? Because there's a hint of violet and lavender, along with some nice aniseed notes there. Slightly medicinal, but it's not Lafroig for sure. Some heather, honey, some leather. There's some also characteristic from Bowmore, for some Bowmore indies, especially indies, some light, almost petrol-y diesel note that makes it get closer to Campbelltown, for instance. Very beautiful nose. I really like this one, and even if I prefer the cask strength expression, I really like what I find here. Yeah, also some green notes, some tea, green tea, some licorice. For me, this is a charming nose, and this is typical from the indie bottlings that are still using sanitizing a bit their whiskies, if I may say, which means the additives, the only additive allowed, of course, in Scotch is caramel essence, E150A, and also the chill filtering process, but it still makes it deliver something. So this, I still enjoy this. Okay, let's put those here, maybe. Voila. So very beautiful, pleasant nose, despite all I said. And let's go on the palate now and see if I'm gonna change my score. Slangeva. Yeah, it's nice. It's very well done. Sure, it's a bit watery, and I just had some water before, so it enhances that. But it's my first dram of the day. Very pleasant one. This one is the old label. They have rebranded it since. Same for the one I showed you before, the Finlagen. For someone who doesn't want something difficult, for instance, to introduce people to peat, to peated whiskies, this will be quite nice. If also you can find this sometimes in supermarkets. I don't find it where I go now, but I did find some in the past. What else can I say? On the palate, yes, I also forgot to mention some dark chocolate, some Demerara sugar, caramelized sugar, some slight oakiness, but really well done. For me, it's really speaking Bowmore. It might not be Bowmore, but for me it's Bowmore. Let's put a few drops in there. Now it's not naked Bowmore because it's chill filtered and colored. It's also, you have to understand, indie bottlers This one is for mass market. The following ones are single cask or small batches. So it's not the same target, and it's not the same price either. So, where you still find some characteristics of Bowmore there, I believe. In the others, you will find other characteristics of Bowmore, but it's a bit stripped, naked, because of this absence of industrial process, let's say, as chill filtering, caramel, and 40% of blah blah. You know what I mean. Okay, with a few drops. Basically, it develops the melting between the flowers, the fruits. I can sense there's some sherry casks in there, mixed with bourbon. So we had some tiny red fruits coming in, but overall it's ex-bourbon and some char involved, but not too much in the cask. And yeah, very well blended for me. I would love to see this at 43 or 46. Not to be obliged to get the 58% ABV, which is more expensive, but overall these are still affordable, 60, 70 I think. Depends the countries. The problem is it's cheaper in UK than in France. Anyway, so there you have it for the first one, which I think it's a nice introduction to indie Bowmores, or indie Isleys, let's say, in general. By the way, I wear my Islay t-shirt, the pit of my heart, yes. And we're gonna move on now to French exclusive for the store pick by Whiskey Magazine France for LaMDW Whisky, of course, which sells it. So this one, where is it? Yeah, I struggle a bit for the order of tasting, honestly, between those four. Yes, it's a 10th anniversary bottling edition of the pays tribute to Whisky Live Paris, the biggest show, whiskey show in France, which I did attend since 2004. It did start in 2003, mind you. I did attend it from 2004 up to 2019. It was not existing in 2010, and it was resumed in 2021, where I couldn't go for some reasons we won't tell here. So this one is bottled by Signatory Vintage. It is cask 1429. There's only 296 bottles of that, distilled in 2000, May of 2000, and bottled in September of 2013. It's a hogshead, so partly reconstitute cask, around 250 liters usually. It's something that was very nice at the show, and a bit pungent and rough around the edges once tried home. It needs oxygen, it needs time, and as you can see, it's 10 years old, but it's clearer, though not being like Muscadet, clearer than the official 10 years old. 12 years old, so you know what I mean. Before I get to this one, I forgot, so I'm gonna be very quick. My favorite indie bottlings, I'm not gonna necessarily tell about the favorite. Yeah, it's hit and miss for me, Signatory Vintage, because of the way they work since 2002. They exist since 1988. Racked warehouses. Sometimes when it's diluted, it seems to be made too quick. Also, the cask selection available for France is also significant of the LaMDW whiskey choice. So sometimes they like it to be very spicy and herbal and rough. Here I have a testimony of a 13 years old from 2005 in the unfiltered range that was 79 out of 100. So not bad, but not great. I have then a 23 years old single cask from Duncan Taylor in the rare old collection that was average but not bad. One of the best I got was a 1982 26 years old cask 85072 bottle in 2009, 26 years old, cask rank 50.4, rated 92 out of 100, beautiful aniseed, orange, lime sherbet, slightly peated, not much, but beautiful. Another Murray McDavid that was very nice and I did have was the Quart de Chaume, which is a French sweet wine, 46% expression, 8 years old only. Beautiful one. Douglas Lang, also from the Old Malt Cask selection 2008, 50% ABV, 91 out of 100 and even more, 91.5. Quickly, among the best Bowmores I tried is a 20 years old from the first range that Signatory Vintage did ever release, even if this one is of 2010, but it's the Preston Field prestigious range, single cask, 1065, first fill Hogshead, 50.4, 90 out of 100, beautifully crafted one, lots of nice star anise, lavender notes, very well done. Have also an average old and rare old malt cask, a nice Adelphi, 8 years old only, but very well done, 2010. And then we have this one. Have also others, but I don't want to be too long. A beautiful Blackadder I had back in the days. A nice Scotch Malt Whisky Society 3.128 that I can recommend as well. In the Gordon and MacPhail there was a stunning one of the best I ever tried from the Secret Stills range. So this is more for the collectors, I'm sorry. So it's the code is 4.2 for the region, 45% ABV, 96.5 out of 100. Super complex, super fruity, super original as well, with some peppercorn notes. Another Secret Still also was great. So, but that's mainly it for our tasting. Okay, let's go back to this one now with the glass that goes with it. So you can see it's Whiskey Magazine glass, most appropriate, light color as you can see. So we're closing to Muscadet, but we're not there. The legs, they're quite sticking in the glass. They're not descending slowly. The tiny tears, because it's 50. Did I say it? 54.1 ABV on the nose. Yeah, it did civilize a bit because of the air, even if I put the air off at some time. Let me see my notes. Oh yeah, there's a word I have to search again, and that's why now I'm gonna more and more have the dictionary online to double check. Sorry, shall I pause? Yes, no. Gonna try to be as quick as possible, but the computer is bullshit. Okay, just a second. Okay, it's shellfish, the name I was looking for. I get shellfish, sea spray. Get some not really much seaweed on the nose. It's quite melted. Some nice floral notes, but it doesn't shout violet or lavender. It's mixed flowers. And the peat is toned down, though I know on the palate it will be highlighted more. So let's go on the palate now. Sanjeva. Powerful, a bit pungent, a bit oaky and spicy, ginger, black pepper. This one is a bit stripped. It's not so far from the Tempest, 10 years old. In the spirit of it, it's even a bit more sharp, maybe, than the release I have. But it's more complex than the Tempest. Despite it's a single cask compared to small batch. You see, so that is why it's interesting to have a look at indie Bowmores and indie everything anyway. Giving that any cask is different, of course. More herbal notes, mix of citrus fruit, but it's, despite a bit pungent at the beginning, it's still well done. The flavors are very intricate. Gonna try it with water now. We still have 3 to go. Oh, did I tell you the previous one I rated it 87? Might be too generous. But yeah, it's good, so no, I'm keeping that note. How about this one? No, I can't agree. The beginning I rated it very high, around 93. But now I probably can't assume that. The oakiness is still there with a few drops of water, so when it's a hogshead or a bourbon cask, water might enhance, in fact, those spicy notes and oaky notes. I'm gonna rework the rating. Bear with me. Okay, so 89.5 for this one, because it doesn't come across as pleasant as in the beginning, and also as on the show. So 89.5, not more. There you have it. Let's go now to more sherry. In fact, the ones coming in now are all sherried, but differently sherried, it seems. So this one is a Barry Brossenrod in the retro range, 14 years old, 1994 vintage and 2008 release. It's the cask 1685. It's a sherry cask. It's bespoke for store pick for LaMDW Whisky. Yeah, the cork, this one is okay. Yeah, it broke, I changed it, but the same for the other. Those are bottlings I did open, this one quite recently, the other a while ago, and I did share it a lot because it's now getting rare to have old stuff. This one is bottled at 54.5, non-chill filtered, non-colored. As usual, it displays the 17th century recreation in some kind of engraving of what the shop was. Grocery, wine, lots of things before it was whiskey. One of the oldest shops and in the bottling company, by the way. Barry Bruss and Rudd, along with the Gordon MacPhail and Cadenhead. Those are the three oldest, I believe. As usual, you have they say 1698 for the origins of Barry Bruss and Rudd. And yeah, I visited twice the St. James Street shop. Then there's a presentation on the back label of the Bowmore distillery. So yeah, capital of Islay. So you can read this maybe, and you can pause to have a look. Then it explains on the last paragraph the what they found, the tasting notes for this one, and you have the ABV recall. Yeah, so exclusively for LaMDW Whisky. This one was sold, to give you an idea, if you're looking at secondary market, around 60. Yeah, I had a discount on it for the private sales of LaMDW Whisky. I'm a customer from them. 65 euros instead of 79. Of course, it won't be the same today, but and this one, it's the, I think, the third try only for me. In case you have a doubt, it's sherry cask. And let's see about the legs. So the legs is not sticking too long, very curiously, despite it's non-chill filtered and high ABV. So it's quite a mystery there for me. On the nose, quite some oak there, but also some wine, sherry wine coming in now that I didn't have at the two first tries. It starts to open up very interestingly. It's getting even a bit balsamic. The peat is not very important on the nose. We're closer to old Macallans for some reason. Speyside, not Islay like this. Interesting. It develops as even some black olives and quite sour, salty, acidic olives from Greece. That's called Kalamata olive. Ooh, some wax as well. Very interesting. So I have to complete my notes on this one. Very cool. I got leather the first time, dry oak, mushrooms, black tea, Earl Grey tea, also a hint of pu'er, you know, the Lagavulin, Lapson, Souchong, and so have some farmy side. And now I got this quite old school sherry. Interesting. It's more interesting now than first times I've tried it, but it's normal. It's a freshly opened bottle, if I may say, a few weeks ago. Especially like the sample that closes the show. I did open those especially for the video. And also because they're old possession of mine in my collection, I was worried about, especially for the bottles, of course, the corks. And yes, the cork broke almost all the time for the old bottlings. So quite interesting nose. Let's go on the palate, Slangeva. Ooh. Lots of sherry. Still some distillery character, but less than in the following one, I think. Interesting. Quite coating on the palate. The sherry, it's getting also more mellow than in the first tastings. It's more interesting. Quite some complexity, some tertiary elements. So, and we still got this leather, this maybe licorice. The peat is very toned down in this one, very second or third ground. Interesting. It has evolved quite from the first tasting. So I'm going to increase the we'll see that later on, but it's rather encouraging. It has some medicinal character, I have to say, on the palate. It has its Lafrogy style a bit, and not the roughness, the wet wood and the dry ashy side that sometimes you find in Lafroig, but very interesting. The sherry, the balsamic element of the sherry is even more prominent in the nose than in the palate. It's more balanced on the palate than on the nose, which is amazing. And there's something I like a lot, like in the other Bowmore from Berry Bros I will try next. There's some kind of nobleness in the interplay between the oak, the smoke, peat smoke, and the sherry, the dark fruits, dark chocolate elements. And this is really Bowmore as well, showcasing Bowmore. So yes, there's still some distillery character in there. So I'm writing dark chocolate, and I'm also enhancing the notes a bit, increasing, sorry. I will pause to calculate the evolution of the rating. Ooh, a few drops bring more dark chocolate, dates, figs and raisins. Yeah, sherry. Good sherry. Slight star anise coming in now, very shy. This is a beautiful whiskey. Bear with me and I will calculate how good this is. Okay, so this one gets a 91 out of 100, so quite a good whiskey. I wonder if it's not gonna evolve, so it's a temporary rating with a slight reservation. But there you see when sherry work very well, even if it's not the one maybe that lets the more distillate express, but it still does. So yeah, quite nice one. Bear in mind it's only 14 years old. Now we're gonna do the 43 years old before the 21, because I don't know at all the 21, and I think the 23 from Berry Bros goes well after the other, but might mistake. It's always complicated to do tasting with several whiskies. Here you have it again, quite some sherry in there. Can see the color despite my weird lighting. Legs wise, wow, those one are coating, very tiny legs and tears. Sticking more in the glass. So this one is a vintage 1987. That means distilled in 97. in 1987, bottle 2011, right? I hope I don't mistake on this one. Yeah, 2011, only 215 bottles, cask 2815, again non-chill filtered, non-colored, it's a hogshead again, and it's 57.2, so probably a racked warehouse for this one, is my guess. Again, the back label explains you in short what you have to do. It's a sherry butt. That's the thing that wasn't displayed, so it's not a hogshead then. I had a wrong information. Apologies about that. Sometimes it's good to double check your bottles, right? Yeah, damp warehouse. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It says damp ferns with smoky depths. We'll see. So same range, same for LaMDW Whisky, but this was the label back in the early 90s for some very sought after collectors. I tried some insane things in that range, old Lafroigs, for instance. Forget it. So this one is, I shared it with several people. Some, should I say, that still have this in blind in their sample collections, and they don't know that it's this gem that it's in their sample. I'm thinking of two people I won't mention in particular. Looking forward to try some. Okay, so shut up, Greg. So this one is a bit the same of the other, but more depth, and contrarily to the other, it doesn't have those balsamic notes. It's a drier profile, oak-wise, more tannic profile as well. So same family of that beautiful sherry, beautiful dark fruits. The smoke is more intricated with the rest of the flavors there. The flowers are more discreet. It's all about peat smoke, dark fruit, dark chocolate, and some tannins there. Okay, let's go on the pan it neat at 57.2, and then I will add some water. Wow. I think it's probably my favorite Bowmore, with the Mariner, which is 43% official. Okay, a bit the Lamrig as well. Then you get this, and of course the Maltman selection. Go back, please, if you like Bowmore or curious of Bowmore, go to see my two other videos about Bowmore, part 1 and 2. Each one displays 5 official whiskies. So at the end of the day, you will have, with these 3 videos, 15 whiskies tried on cam for you, and some feedback about a dozen others. Honestly, where can you see that else? Probably, I know where. Liquor Hound, maybe. It's a few other guys from the Canada, United States, and of course, probably sometimes Chris Goodrum. Yeah, beautifully. There's some anise seed coming in now. Dates, raisins, figs. Over 70% dark chocolate. This is one of my honestly favorite Bowmore. Yeah, I'm not changing the first note I have here. so beautiful. Okay, let's put some water in there, a bit more than for the last one. But once again, when you have quite tannic profile, water won't necessarily, especially with sherry, but won't necessarily tame things. But I've tried it before, that's why I do that. I love it. This is, of course, it's a bit more tannic than the others tried before. But it's all about sherry and the smoke, the peat smoke that's really intricate, more powerful than more smoke, more peat smoke than the others. But also with time, it gets completely melted with the other flavors. So discrete floral notes, a bunch of dark fruits. I can even describe all the things I sense. Figs, prunes, dates, raisins. Probably a few other things I cannot think in English now. And yes, this dark chocolate, 75% maybe cocoa fat. Yeah, and that signature Bowmore floral star anise, beet green, also moss, forest moss, black tea, Earl Grey tea, everything is mixed together and it's really beautiful. So there you have it. I'm gonna increase the rate in direct. It's not gonna be difficult. And for this time I'm not gonna pause, and I'm giving you 93.5 out of 100 for this beautiful gem. There you have it. Thanks a lot for watching. It's not over. There you have it, the last dram of the I hope you will be some people at least. I know lately I saw a decrease of views, and I was a bit sad about that. I spoke to that to be completely transparent today with Menno Multimission. Hi, my friend. Yeah, I was suggesting some moves to cut the videos, etc. I'm absolutely not good on that, so I apologize. But I won't do that often, 1 hour video. Sorry for the noise. Now, for this one, this is the first time I will try this whiskey, so I'm doing this for you. The same idea. Yes, most of these whiskies are not available today, but this shows you what indie Bowmore can be. It doesn't mean all indie Bowmore are going to taste like that, but it gives you an idea. And as you can see, there's more depth, there's more sharp elements, there's more other things than maybe the official expression I have. Not all I've tried. Having said that, there's still awesome expressions I tried. Go back to see, please, the 2 other episodes. But for this one, I'm gonna try it before you for the first time. It's a 21 years old, distilled 1989, bottle 2010. It's a sample I have, I think, thanks Xavier, from a French friend. This one is a Murray McDavid. Indie bottler Mark Renier is behind that, and Jim McEwan. Marc Régnier, and who runs now Waterford. So Murray McDavid is the name of the indie bottler, and Mission Gold is the series in which this one is has been bottled. This displays sherry casks. There have been 4,739 bottles, so we can assume it's a small batch. And the ABV is 54.5, and of course it's non-chill filtered and non-colored. There you have it. Excuse me. Okay. What's going on now? This has some time to breathe. Legs wise, quite sticky. And for this one, as I was running out of those sheets I use usually, with those, you will find this on my website, by the way. These are quantitative criteria of how much of this flavor, of this sugar, salt, salted, acidic, sour, spicy, green, oaky, smoky elements you have. And there I have the quality, subjective quality notes of the nose, the palate, the balance, the complexity, the intensity, the development with air or water, and subjective pleasure notes. And this gives the total. And what is in between is the family of aromas and flavors. And there are all the technical things, the details about the version, so you have it all. But for this one, I modified one I did for some friends. So I will experiment a bit this, but basically it's the same criteria. So on the nose, quite some sulfur. Oh my god. Yeah, 2 out of 3 out of 5 in sulfur. I didn't expect that. So it's between sulfur, no, not really sulfur, rather struck matches. So it's a different kind of sherry than the 2 previous ones. It's interesting. Does it go? We'll see with the sample taking some air. I will retry it. For this one, my notes will be with reservations. Quite some sulfur hiding everything else. So not a super great nose for me. I will give still a 7 instead of 9 and more for the previous one. 7 minus, if not 6.5. Okay. For the first tasting. Because you still have the sherry and you still have something. But it's a bit difficult. Okay, let's go on the palate for the first time with this collector's samples I'm pulling out for you. Ooh. Whoa, it's good. Okay, I'm a bit reassured compared to the nose. I don't really get the sulfur, a hint of it. The struck matches, I mean. On the palate, it's way less, way more subdued. You get a lot of sherry, but you still get some Bowmore-ish, not funk, but house style of this half green vegetal, I mean, half peat smoke, half dark chocolate, and a bit floral things. So yeah, quite a seductive palate, I will say. Malty, not much. I have all those not very oaky. Oily, yes. Winey, not really. earthy. Yeah, I have 4 in this one. I have 4 adjectives about peat: earthy, smoky, iodine, and medicinal. And is a bit earthy. Smoky, yes, 2 out of 5. Iodine, I get none. Medicinal, not really. Then the floral, yes, I get discreet ones. No fresh fruit, no solvent. Dried fruit, yes. Dates, figs, raisins. Honey, not really. Vanilla, none. Spicy, yes, a bit, but it remains discreet. No sourness. And yes, a bit perfumey spices. Some, yeah, like 5 berries, pepper. But nice. Very oloroso sherry, this. Let me try it again after a water sip. This is gonna go for an hour, I knew that. Yeah. Second sip, the sulfur, the struck matches are back. Okay, not too much water. Yes, it's very sherry driven. Chris would complain there's not much distillery character. Chris Goodrum, I still find some distillery character, but I might say it less interesting than the 2 others. Let me pause to give you my conclusion and temporary rating. Okay, for the last one, this Bowmore 21 years old Murray McDavid Mission Gold series, the temporary rating will be 87. And why 87 and not 90? Because of the nose, which is very sulfury. But despite of that, it's quite pleasant one. Though less interesting for me than those 2 Berry Brosson Road we had before. So there you have it. I know it's long, apologies about that. I won't do a super long 1-hour video all the time, but there you have it. Please rewatch the videos when you can, or watch the videos in several parts if you prefer, and you will have there my opinion about a bunch of Bowmore. I tried over 60 Bowmore, so this may help you understand why Bowmore is one of my favorite distilleries. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon for something else.